quick, let me ask you a question. Out of all 8 billion people in the world, how many of them do you think can do one muscle up? Well, you see, the thing about muscle ups is they're kind of hard. They're actually a lot harder than a normal pull-up. Let me explain. In order to successfully do a proper muscle up, you actually have to generate enough upward force while pulling up so that your elbows can rotate 180 degrees going into the second half of the muscle up, the body weight dip. Remember when you were little and you were out swimming and you wanted to get out of the pool but you didn't use a stair, so you kind of just like walked over to the side of the pool and lifted yourself out? Well, that's essentially what's going on here, but without the water. Here in just a few moments, I'm going to give you some of the vital secret workout techniques that I use to get a lot stronger at muscle ups. Stick around to the end of the video because, to be honest, they are a lot easier than you think, and I'd hate for you to miss out. But first, how many people can actually do one muscle up? Obviously, finding an exact estimation of how many people can do a muscle up is virtually impossible, but we can narrow it down and get a pretty good idea. Let me explain. Considering that most people don't even work out, let alone to the extent required to do a single rep, being able to do a muscle up is pretty uncommon. So after hours and hours of long, hard, and extensive research from multiple credible sources, I've deduced that around 1 to 5% of the general population can do one single muscle up. But why? Well, muscle ups actually require a lot from your chest, shoulders, arms, core, as well as just the ability to actually transition from a pull-up to a dip, because that's essentially what a muscle up is, which in the end just requires basic body coordination. So if you can't do one, or maybe you're just not that good at them, listen closely because I'm going to go over some of my special curated exercises that help me transform my muscle ups. In fact, you're likely sitting down watching this video, so go grab a pen and paper or use a notes app on your phone and write down some of these techniques. I'm not kidding, I'll wait. You already watched this far in the video, you might as well get something out of it. And also, I would love to hear back from you guys in a couple weeks, letting me know how far you've gotten and how much these techniques have transformed your muscle ups. Front grip bodyweight dips. From my understanding, a big part of the muscle up that a lot of people get stuck on is actually locking out their arms at the top of the rep. And by doing front grip bodyweight dips, you're essentially mimicking and getting stronger at that motion. Also, one super helpful piece of advice while doing this exercise and while just doing muscle ups is to keep your body, your chest, and your hips close to the bar. The further away from the bar you are, the harder it is and the more core you'll have to use. So keep the bar close to your chest and your hips as you're transforming from the pull up to the dip. Explosive rep weighted pull downs. These are essentially just normal pull downs, but try to add 20 to 30 pounds more than your body weight and practice doing explosive reps. Not only will this just make muscle ups easier because you're getting stronger, but you're actually practicing launching yourself in the air to help that transition between the muscle up and dip go by a lot smoother. Two of the best workouts that will help you get stronger at that transition point between the pull up and the dip are these two right here. One of them focuses on your chest and the other one focuses on your lats and rear delts, but both of them mimic the same motion you're using when transitioning between pull-ups and dips, and they've both helped me transform my muscle ups so much more. Decline bench press. Now, especially if you're still struggling on the front grip bodyweight dips, decline bench press is a lot better because it allows you to actually lay down and customize the weight that you're doing, unlike the fixed weight of your body weight when you're doing dips. This gives you more flexibility on how much weight you actually want to put on the bar, which unlike the front grip bodyweight dips, you're not stuck at your body weight and can be a lot more easier for people who are in the beginner position. Flat bar tricep pull downs. Now, besides the obvious fact of just making your triceps stronger, this closely resembles that muscle up movement. And the reason why I keep bringing this up, why it's so important for your exercises to mimic this motion, is because you perform how you train. So if you train specifically for muscle ups, you're going to get better at muscle ups. But if you were to just do your current split that you're working now and expect to get stronger at muscle ups, it's not going to work that way because you're not closely resembling the actual motion that a muscle up requires. Static dumbbell holds or farmer carries. Remember, you can only lift as much as you can grip. So if you're having trouble hanging onto the bar, then doing one of these two exercises will help you severely. In fact, you could even just practice more specifically by hanging onto the bar, because no matter how sweaty your palms are or how much you weigh, if you can't at least hang onto the bar for 20 seconds, then your grip strength is severely underdeveloped. A lot of people also like to use lifting straps on their wrist. This is pretty effective once you start lifting 400 pounds, but if you're just lifting normal weight, you really shouldn't be using them because they're severely prohibiting your forearm strength. And honestly, you just kind of look goofy moving a weight that you can't even hold on your own. Lastly, above all else, the most important thing that I can give you today to help you get stronger at muscle ups in the future is consistency. Remember, a simple plan executed properly always beats a detailed, highly nuanced plan executed half-assed. Everybody wants the perfect conditions to start, but many people don't realize that the perfect condition is just starting. Use what you have to your advantage. If you enjoyed this video or found it informative and want to keep watching me, click one of these 2 videos here. I'm sure you'll find it just as entertaining. And with that out of the way, guys, I appreciate you all for watching. Consider subscribing, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.